solid example, like this changed from this to that. I was just noticing that there were different things happening in my environment. So I also looked up the Jed, I believe it's called a Jed pillar, and it had the 4 lines on it. And I was like, well, that would symbolize the 4 loops that I am experiencing. And the Dijad pillar is, the Ankh of life is given to gods and goddesses of the past in Egypt, but the Dijad pillar is specific to Osiris and stability, resurrection, representing the spinal column, and a renewal of life, basically. And so with all of my different experiences, you know, the quantum stretching of my spinal column in order to quantum move throughout space and time, the Ankh energy and the 4 times the loop, this certainly does represent the spinal column and resurrection. However, it goes beyond just representing the spinal column and resurrection. It is actually symbolized to be the pathway or the gift to transfiguration from the physical anatomy into full transformative consciousness and light. So you might reference this as Jesus's transfiguration into full light. Here it is depicted in the Egyptian hieroglyphs as the basic transformation of Osiris from his physical being into his full conscious and light being, immortality. So, goodness, so much information. But it was a huge epiphany to me. It was like, this is the process. It's been, 20 years since I first saw Jesus in a vision and everything started to unfold. It has been 20 years of living this enhanced, altered life, completely guided by Jesus and the Ineffable One, with angels and demons all participating in on the process of watching a reckoning of people who did wrong to me get punished for it. And they didn't get punished just once. Like I said before, they've been punished over and over and over again. And then to experience my own expanded consciousness with basically casting off the physical experiences of life. Maybe it's part of that transmutation of turning them into something grander, bigger and grander, getting rid of them so that I can experience a more, a larger conscious change. So with the Ankh and the Jed pillar, symbolisms and sacred geometry, correlations, and being told that big changes are coming, I can only imagine that transfiguration is the only thing left. And that saturation of people for days and days on end is really just that final purge of the physical life experience back to a higher divine consciousness. And if you follow any of the videos that I have put out and understand any of this process, 20 years, it tells you just how far, how far from light we are in a physical body. And it's not to diminish the experience of life. You have to live the life that you are given, but in order to reunite with the eros gamos, the sacred marriage with divine, you have to go through all of this to do it. You don't just get a tingly feeling and say you're enlightened. It's not just bliss. There's a lot of negative, a lot of shadow, a lot of challenges, and they don't give you a map. They don't say, oh, you're on the Qabalah today. You know, you just suddenly start noticing things. And then when they say, oh, you missed the mark. And I'm like, well, you didn't tell me I was supposed to go somewhere specific. So how could I miss something I didn't know I was supposed to do? Well, that was the ego trying to trick me and make me think that I was failing, when in fact, I am being guided very specifically by Jesus, and I haven't failed anything. The ego wants to keep me here, keep me down, and keep me diminished so it can control what happens. But God just said, you know, kind of like a crow on an eagle's back, keep ascending. The crow will fall off because it can't breathe anymore. But I can breathe, and I keep ascending higher and higher, and there are stages to it. So a huge video today. And I am joyful to share it, because I've been trying to make all of these videos real. This is the experience. I wasn't given a handbook. They didn't give me this in the beginning and say, okay, you know, now here's the seed of life. And we're not going to tell you this, but you're going to walk this pattern in your life for years. And you're going to do stuff. And the stuff that you do, all good and all bad, is God's design for the next universal creation of my resurrected immortal life and your new universe of creation. So, to all of you, thank you for watching the video. I wish you a peaceful and wonderful life. And one day this will probably make sense to you, and you will live it. You will live it every day for maybe 20 years or more or less. I don't know. It's your experience. But correlating the Egyptian hieroglyphs and the seed of life, the sacred geometry, everything in this world, science, you know, science explains God. In your world, everything is divided. Everything is divided. Everything is compartmentalized. You know, you've got religion, you've got government, you've got spirituality, you've got medical. You know, you have all of these different categories of life, but they're all interconnected, and that is the great weave of life. That is the great design of God ineffable. And I'm excited about the next stage. And maybe I'll be able to share it with you. If there are more videos in the interim, like I said, I've been doing this Ankh Dijad type energy since the middle of October. So how long is that going to last? Is it going to be several months or several years? I don't know. But hopefully I'll be able to share it with you, and any more things that I learn along this very long, sometimes confusing, sometimes bliss beyond imagination experience of awakened Kundalini. So, it's after Christmas. I keep a tree up year-round just to remind me of the spirit of Christmas, of giving, of love, of life, the continuous renewal of life. And going into the new year, 2025, may the Ineffable One be with you. May Jesus' light illuminate your life more clearly and give you peace and abundance. From my living room to yours, I hope you have a very beautiful day.